I trust that you have disgustingly good taste in video games if you played these 5 games. Platformer Edition. We have to start with Astrobot, which was my 2024 Game of the Year. There was a magic woven into this game that's implicit to every great platformer, which is the feeling of freedom. Platformers at their core are about helping you imagine new ways of moving through the world. Astrobot's director, Nicolas Doucet, said that their design philosophy for this game was to make it feel like a toy. They knew Astrobot would be many children's first video game, and they also knew that it needed to appeal to longtime platforming enthusiasts. They designed the first Galaxy to have these open playground-like levels that would let you experiment with the movement and physics on offer, and then they made the latter Galaxies much more demanding in terms of their platforming. But even these later Galaxies capture that whimsy and joy that's so often only children experience with video games, where they can spend an entire weekend playing with their favorite toy and examining every contour and edge to it. It's a game defined by the infinite possibilities of imagination. I wasn't even alive when Super Mario 64 launched, and I think if you were born after 2000, it might be hard for you to understand how much of a generational leap this game was, not just for platformers, but for video games as a whole. 1996 was the year that video games went 3D, and there are so many aspects of modern 3D games that we take for granted, but just didn't exist at the time. Super Mario 64 gave the industry the blueprint for how cameras could function in 3D spaces in video games, which allowed them to design more complex levels that really played into the interactivity between the snappy camera movement and your abilities. Little Big Planet was a game so far ahead of its time with its user-generated content tools, the likes of which major game companies are still chasing today. The types of levels you can make in this game were unfathomable at the time. For example, some people were making fully functioning calculators, side-scrolling shooters, and remakes of classic 2000s video game levels. The possibilities felt truly endless, but ultimately, it was an amazing platformer that was defined by the level of agency it gave you, the player, in shaping your own experiences. It was incredibly hard deciding which Sonic game to include in this list, but Sonic Mania felt apt for its commemoration and revitalization of the classic Sonic formula. Sonic Mania is a testament to the incredible design of the original Sonic games with how well they hold up today. Later Sonic titles, in my opinion, focused way too much on speed over level design, but the originals had this perfect balance of moving fast and also engaging with the unique set pieces that each zone offered. Sonic Mania really honed back in on that intricate level design that made each zone feel distinct from each other, but also distinct based on which character you played. The Donkey Kong Country games are really unique in that they're buddy platformers, meaning you have multiple characters you're playing as and you're swapping between them based on what the situation calls for. And I think Donkey Kong Country 2 really nails this formula. Buddy platformers, in my view, can get quite difficult because of the number of movesets you're having to remember at any given moment, and Donkey Kong Country 2 can be brutal at some times. It remains today one of the tougher platformers, not because of poor design like many older platformers, but because the developers really wanted you to critically consider whose strengths were best suited for the situation at hand and then apply those through practice. They forced you to imagine new ways of moving through this world in a way that you wouldn't have considered before playing this game. Let me know how disgustingly good your taste is in the comments, and let me know what genre you'd like to see in part 5.